subscribe and share. Please turn off the ad block, subscribe, and share. Links will be below for anyone wanting to support this channel.
Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett and I'm the founder and owner of TechFuse and Help, and today we are going to look into how to troubleshoot your own home network, and that way your ISP will know if it's your home network that's causing problems, is it the ISP themselves causing problems, or what. And that way, if the ISP, the internet service provider, is saying you need to get a new modem, or whatever it may be, or that's just on your end, you can actually show them hard proof that it's not and that it's on their end. Now, this does not guarantee that they'll fix anything. This just guarantees that they can't pull your tail. Now, if you don't know what you're talking about afterwards, they might try to sell you on something, because keep in mind, they're salesmen. Even the technical people are salesmen. And in some of the businesses, they actually do get commissions, not all of them. So just keep that one in mind. But keep in mind, if you use this, you can actually show it to the ISP, and they can see, okay, it's not on your end, it's on our end, and we need to look at this. But again, it doesn't guarantee anything. So on Windows, what we're going to be using is command prompt. And I've recently saw this somewhere else. Someone mentioned about actually showing you guys not, because this is a very easy, free way to do it. There is other ways to do this, by the way, but the thing is instead of downloading a bunch of things, I prefer to use what we already have. So what we want to do on Windows is go CMD, and this will pull up command prompt. Sorry about that. And it doesn't have to be administrator access. And we need 3 instances. So, as far as that goes, let's make that a little bit bigger. And do that. So, as far as that goes, what we want to do is we want to ping our router, ping our ISP, and then ping a popular internet service, so like Google. The reason why you want to use a popular internet service is because they have the equipment to make sure that you get your stuff as quick as possible, whereas if you go to a lower end site, that might not be the case. I suggest using Google because that's really the top to the top as far as making sure that you do have a good feedback back and forth. Google Bing, things of that nature. I wouldn't really suggest Facebook. You could use that, but let me show you how to do it. So let's say that you don't know about your router. How do you find that one out? Just type in ipconfig, and your actual default gateway is your router. And let's just say that you don't want to do that for whatever reason. Well, it's probably 192.168.1.1. But what we want to do is type in 192.168, or whatever your default gateway is. If you don't want to do the ipconfig, then just hit out 11. I'm just going to put on a false number that I know that's not used, and this is what it will look like if your default gateway is or if you put in the wrong default gateway. If you put in the right default gateway, it will look like this. Now, as far as things goes, what you need to do is go and press the ping, whatever the default gateway is, space -T, and this will make it where it keeps going. If you want to cancel it, just press Control and C at the same time, and that cancels it. Press up and enter to re-enter a command from before, and this is a very important trick. So now let's go into the ISP. There's a few ways to work this one out. If you have a VPN, this first method won't work. If you don't know what a VPN is, you probably don't have a VPN. VPNs are virtual private networks. I do have videos on that. They're used for businesses, and they're used to protect your identity, which is very useful in many areas of the world. Keep in mind this is an international channel. So if you don't have a VPN, this will work for you. If you do and you're currently using it, I'll show you what to do in a second. So from here, what you need to do is ping your ISP. So what you need to do is go on Google and search for what is my IP address, and copy and paste that IP address into here. All you need to do is ping and then just paste it in with a right click. If you do Control V, you'll get that on anything below Windows 10. Windows 10, supposedly they fixed that and made it where that will actually paste it in. I'm not sure if Control C will stop things on Windows 10, by the way. I'll check that out later on whenever they fully release it. But anyways, I'm gonna be using Google's DNS, which is basically a giant phone book showing you where all the IP addresses are. So the numbers that you're going to see here are representative numbers. Very important. So Google's default gateway is 888 and doing their -T. So in this area where the numbers are, that's where you put in your ISP's IP address, which is again what you get from Google when you search for what is my IP address. Now let's say you got a VPN running. You can either turn it off, or what you can do if it's not on your router, what you can do is go to your router and put in there the password and stuff. Go to status, depending on your router. This is the reason why I'm not showing it. It's because each router is different, massively so. And even what they call it is default gateway, or I mean, there's a few things there, but it'll be somewhere within the router. If the router has VPN, then you might have to turn it off just for a little bit to check it out. But from there, what you need to do is make sure you put it in and press enter. This is actually pretty good numbers. So from there, let's go to a popular site. Again, Google was my suggestion, because the reason why you don't want a lower end site is because they don't have the hardware. It's not software. It is mixture software, but you're looking at more hardware, and a lower end site might have a few $1,000s within hardware, whereas an upper site like Google might have a few $1 million. It's a lot better. So I mean, you're talking about a card, like a card that you can fit in your computer, a NIC, is easily $100,000, and that's not even a whole machine. So that's the type of money that I'm talking about with these bigger companies. That's why you want to use something like Google. So google.com -T, and this will actually ask the DNS what is Google's IP address, because keep in mind how computers talk is through numbers. We only talk through letters because it's easier to us, and the DNS says these letters correspond to some numbers, which is these. And now that knows what the IP address is on its own, it says this is what it needs to ping to. So for those who are wondering, these are really good numbers. So as far as that goes, now we're looking into the actual numbers themselves. So let's start with the, let's actually, whoa, that's crazy. That's a major lag. In fact, that's actually a perfect example. So as far as this goes, I'm stopping all of these so I can just tell you what each number means. So what we're looking at is where it says reply from blah 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 blah. As you see here, it does the IP addresses that we put in. For that, again, the IP address is found in the DNS that is associated with the website. And then from there it goes into bytes. Don't worry about that. And the only thing you need to focus on is time. So time is what's important here. So if you are connected by Ethernet, a physical cable, into your router or modem, or really a router if you're doing it nowadays, then it needs to be 1 millisecond. I would say 2, I wouldn't even really say 3, but 1 millisecond. If you have anything more than that, then 3, take a look at it. If it's more than, let's just say 5, you got problems. But if it's wireless, if there's no cables connected from the router to your computer, if it's wireless, keep in mind there's a little bit of lag. The physics, it's actual laws of physics. You're looking at anywhere between 1, a lot of people will say 5, but I personally say 1 to 10 seconds, or 1 to 10 milliseconds. So if that says anywhere between 1 and 10, that's average, that's normal. So even 9, I'll say that's average. Now if it gets to the higher end, I'll say you might want to take a look at it, but really 1 to 10 seconds is pretty much going to be average, because most people don't have the routers like I do. I got a Netgear Nighthawk 7000, and this is at this given time in 2015. There's only one router that's above it, and it's barely above it, and there's literally nothing better than it for home use at this time. So with that in mind, I mean, besides, again, the 8000. So with that in mind, my numbers might be a lot better than yours because of that. So I'll say 1 to 10, you're fine. Now, where are you getting these spikes? 34, 21, so on. Don't worry about them unless if it's consistent. I'll say if it's like 5 or 10, you know, whatever you feel consistent to be, that's when you need to worry about it. Otherwise, don't worry about it, because these spikes happen normally. Because what happens is someone else is on your network, that will cause some lag. Someone doing something massive, starting something, that will cause some lag. There's also a few other things that can go on internal of your network. So for example, like mine, I got a home backup server, which by the way, I got a video on how to make a Windows home backup server from a old Windows computer. That can cause it. I got security cameras, that can cause it. I got other people on the network, that can cause it. So these little spikes, I'll just say that they're normal, but if it's consistent, that's when you run into problems. And if it's consistent on here, you know your problem is within your router, so it's on your end. So from here, keep in mind how this exactly works is you ping out, it'll ping out going to your router, and back from here, the middle one, it'll ping out through your computer, through your router, to your ISP, the first hop, and back, if you got it right. Then if you have that in mind, if this number's high, then this number's going to be a bit higher. So with that in mind, what this number really should be, if it's your ISP, whereas this is obviously not, if it's your ISP number, your first hop, then this number should be anywhere between 1 and 10 and 20. Some people will say 7 and 15. I've heard that a few times. 7 and 18, 10 and 18, stuff like that. But personally, I say 10 and 20. And the reason for that is, again, most people don't live in a high speed area. So 10 and 20, that's about normal. So again, 1 to 10 here, 10 to 20. And for here, you're looking at, for your popular site like Google, you're looking at 50, 60, and obviously we're getting down to the 40s on a pretty consistent amount. So we're actually doing pretty good. Now, let's talk about the spike. It's pretty important. So what we're seeing here is now there's all of a sudden spike. So what we can see here is this spike, when it happened, it caused lag between here, your router, your computer to your router, and then it caused even more lag between your computer to your ISP, and then even more lag to your popular site. Obviously, these numbers will be much different, have much more of a gap, unless if the connection between here somehow like just dropped for whatever reason. But anyways, this is telling me that the problem is not my computer, it's possibly my router or a whole bunch of things going through my router at one given time. And the chances are is that second one, because again, I got quite a few things. I'm actually very close to the threshold on my particular router. So again, hopefully this has answered some questions and helped you out. What you're looking for within this area is 1 to 10, 10 to 20, and about 50 or 60. If this is high, either one of these are high, you know, this, if it's high, the first one, then your problem is your router or something between your computer and your router. It might be your computer, it might be your router, it might be something else, but it's something on your end, completely on your end. If this is high, but this is pretty average, like say this is 1 millisecond, this is, I don't know, 50, then you know the problem is between the router and the ISP. This could be the modem itself if the router is not a modem and router. This could be the cabling, could be a bunch of things, but it's between your router and the ISP top. So either you need to get a new modem or they need to fix the wires or something around that. Still important. Basically, if this is pretty bad and this is pretty good, this is where you need to actually start taking screenshots and send it to them. If this is pretty bad, the spike, then what happens is this isn't on your end. Basically, since the stuff is pretty good here, the stuff is pretty good here, but the spike is around here, then there's one to two things that are happening. And you need to make sure they know that you're pinging a popular site like Google, because they're going to try to fight back on that particular one. But basically, you say for example, I had this constant spike right here, the 1419. What would end up happening is it's on either the ISP, between the ISP's hop, and here it could be the cables, but it's not on your end, it's on their end. Or it could be the servers or whatever on the popular site side. So they might try to blame the popular site, but if you use something like Google, they virtually won't. And if you still have a problem and they still want to argue, use another popular site, or even have another tab with another popular site, so like Bing or whatever. In that way they can see, okay, this site and another site is having it. It's obviously not, it's probably not their end, because the chances of two different companies are having the same problem is virtually impossible. So the chances are is it's the ISP himself. Again, this doesn't guarantee they'll fix it, but it shows that they can't pull your tail. But anyways, I know this has been long. I want to be very detailed, especially for people who really are trying to figure this one out, because I know you're frustrated. But again, if you want to reinitiate after you take a screenshot, just press up and enter. And there you go. I'll advise, if you're taking a screenshot, go and have this open so you can see the time. And that way they can see, okay, it happened at this given time, and it's well documented. Or put a thing up saying the time, but it's best to actually show the actual time, and that way it shows proof. It's just better all around. So they say, oh, we were actually working on it for that 5 minutes, and that was a problem. You might not hear about it, but it'll help them out on fixing it. And that's really the overall on why you should be doing this. But anyways, this has been Craig Bennett, founder and owner of TechViews Help, and hopefully this has helped you out. If it has, then please leave a like, subscribe, share. If it hasn't helped you out, go ahead and leave a dislike and tell me why you didn't like this, and that way I can fix it in the future. But if you have any questions, comments, or want to add anything onto here that I might have forgot, then please feel free to leave that down below in the comment section. And hope you have a great day. Please feel free to share and check out my other videos on my channel.